When the exhumation of the victims of the Shakahola Massacre began in April 2023, Kenya and the world were shocked. That was only the beginning. Worse things were to come. Horrific details were to emerge. Tales of manipulation, blackmail, indoctrination, brainwashing, fasting, strangling, and bashing came to the surface. As of 17 July 2023, 403 bodies have been exhumed. The number rose as a result of 12 more bodies which were exhumed. It is a truly frightening experience. The world is holding its breath. What is yet to come? There are estimates of over 500 people who are still missing. This is a Holocaust. This is a genocide under the guise of Christianity. Kenya woke up from its slumber as a flurry of activities came to Shakahola, Kilifi County. It was the place to be for the security personnel, media personnel, administrators, and members of the victims' families. This incident captured world attention. Questions came in droves. How could a preacher, how could a prophet do that to his followers? The Senate Speaker, Amazon Kingi, called for the harshest punishment possible to those responsible for the death of so many innocent people. According to him and other authorities in Kenya, Mackenzie gathered followers, indoctrinated them, brainwashed them, and then starved them. The 400 bodies that have been exhumed so far belong to individuals who followed Mackenzie. The massacre has reached unprecedented levels. Paul Mackenzie, the founder and leader of the Good News International Church, convinced his followers that fasting to death was the surest way of meeting Jesus. It was guaranteed that they would go to heaven. It is alleged that most of the followers took the sermons hook, sink, and liner. Others, however, were forced into it. Some are said to have been strangled or bashed to death. The news of the Shakahola Massacre left Kenya and the world shell-shocked when these exhumations started. This tragedy has exposed the falsehood, the deceit and hypocrisy of the so-called prophets. The Kenyan preacher's key message was end times. He emphasized that Western education was evil. He preached against music, against films, against lifestyles, and against riches. As a result, many of his followers sold their properties and surrendered the proceeds to Mackenzie's church. This was the highest level of selfishness, of cruelty, and callousness. The church will remain a symbol of evil for years to come. Audiences around the world continue to view this with utter horror and shock. How could a man orchestrate such a horrendous thing under the guise of Christianity? How could such a thing take place under the nose of the authorities? It is not clear how he managed to elude the long arm of the law. This is a serious case of dereliction of duty. If his message was truly end time, as he claims, why did Paul Mackenzie blackmail or hoodwink followers into selling their property and surrender the money to him? Were money and property not part of earthly things that he preached against? Was he ever preparing to meet Jesus himself? Was he going to fast like his followers? And at what point? How many of his close lieutenants died with ordinary congregants? As we reflect over these and other pertinent questions, we find it difficult to believe he was a true man of God. Like in Animal Farm, some believers were more equal than others. While he stands accused of heinous crimes, his former followers, 403 of them, have been confirmed dead and have been exhumed from their shallow graves. The agonizing reality is that their relatives and friends will never know how they died. Was it free will or were they coerced to do it? Fears continue to mount. Those whose relatives and friends are still missing are experiencing the greatest pain possible. They can only imagine what happened. The pain is without equal. The estimate is that around 600 people could have been misled into fasting to death. This could be a conservative figure. These people were psychologically manipulated into believing that Mackenzie had supernatural powers and that he communicated to God directly. Claiming to be a Christian is one thing. Doing the inhuman thing is another. What stark naked hypocrisy. The prayer that people have is that justice will be served. The families of the victims wait. The Kenyan society waits. The world waits. Only time will tell. Life will never be the same in Shakahola, Kilifi County, and Kenya in general. This masquerade has been exposed, but the emotional, psychological, and physical wounds will be difficult to heal. What Paul Mackenzie did was a breach in nature. It puts human society in a bad light. Hopefully, believers have taken a cue from this horrific act, for they say, forewarned is forearmed. What is sickening is that there are still individuals who are brainwashed, indoctrinated, and still believe Paul Mackenzie is an innocent man who is persecuted for his beliefs. He is a victim of circumstances, they say. He is a true prophet, they say. What myopia, what blindness to the naked truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. The dark cloud of ignorance, the shadow of indecision continues to give in to rationale and prudence. It is wisdom to tread with care. Believers have to know this. We all have a dream to see religion as a symbol of love, caring, communality, honesty, truth, unwavering dedication to serving God, not individuals. Not self-styled prophets, not self-serving masquerades. The Coastal Regional Commissioner, Rhoda Onyencha, confirmed that 257 DNA samples have been collected so far, while 95 people have been rescued. The Good News International Church leader was on 24 April 2023 described as a terrorist by the Kenyan president William Ruto. He has become society's enemy number one. He is one of the worst killers in the nation's history. Within a short period, Paul Mackenzie was transformed from a taxi driver to a doomsday preacher. As of now, he faces several charges which include murder and terrorism. This case continues to worsen and shock people around the world. It is a bizarre case indeed. The pastor is in custody facing terrorism and genocide charges. Kenyan detectives have said that Paul Mackenzie is in custody pending the finalization of police investigations into his inhuman practices. His preaching was dangerous and his activities are without equal in the annals of Kenyan history. The nation waits and the world waits to see what is going to happen to this dangerous man. He doesn't belong to society, and his actions have to be stopped at whatever cost, for society cannot live with such malcontents. Thank you for watching this episode of Luminous Recaps. We value your comments. Please subscribe to this channel, leave comments, share this video, strike the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. It is bye for now. See you in the next installment of Luminous Recaps.